David, do you view this as a fight for the legit cruiserweight title, or is Jai Opetaia lineal, or do you see it as this fight is because it's for two belts?
I mean, I think it's definitely legit because he has two world titles. I mean, it doesn't really matter if Jai Opetaia has another one. He has two legit titles right there. So, I think so. It's a legit fight. It's a legit, title shot, and I'm gonna be very happy once I capture those two titles.
I mean, I think that's the biggest fight in the world, especially at this weight division. And that's definitely a fight I want. Like I said, I'm not scared of nobody. It's Monstro's world. And if he wants to get that fight, we get that fight.
I'm ready to fight. I've been chasing these big fights for quite a while. I want to call myself undisputed. So, it is what it is. I'm ready when they are.
Yep, I agree.
And I like the fight with Jai. I think the Jai Opetaia fight at cruiserweight is the fight for me. That's the fight that I want to see. Jai has been the man at that weight class for a very long time. Now you got a new player in the division with a hot name and whose stock and whose star power is only rising. That's the fight I believe that needs to be made.
David Benavidez has reportedly agreed to a possible showdown with Jai Opetaia as momentum continues building around a major clash between two world-class fighters battling to establish supremacy in their division.
I think that would be a great fight to make in the future. And I mean, I respect Jai Opetaia a lot. He's a great fighter, and I think he has to come back over here to make these.
That's a full breakdown. And in the end, this matchup comes down to a classic clash of styles. Pressure against precision. Raw power versus perfect timing. Every analyst sees a different road to victory, but nobody believes either fighter gets an easy night in the ring. Now we want to hear from you. Who wins when these styles collide at the highest level? Leave your prediction in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for more boxing analysis and fight breakdowns. We'll catch you in the next one.
I believe it is, especially him being in cruiserweight, and to me, it just makes sense. Like, if he's fighting for a world title in my division, why don't people want to see who the best is in the division? Like, it does not make sense to me if we don't fight, you know what I mean? Like, he's coming up fighting for a undisputed, like a unification fight, and he's going to be holding the WBO and WBA. It just doesn't make sense to me that...
In addition, Opetaia believes a future contest with David Benavidez will be one of the clearest and most logical fights available if both fighters hold titles in the same weight class. According to him, defeating elite champions is a true way to prove dominance and separate yourself from the rest of the division.
Is by my lights, the way I figure things, has never actually been the champion of a division. Not his fault. Canelo never gave him a shot. So far, neither Bivol gave him a shot, nor Beterbiev, when he was a champ, gave him a shot. Opetaia is a champion who is sitting there going, I want to fight you, right? Look, the fact that no one's fought Benavidez, you understand. And I know he just beat Zurdo Ramirez and there were belts on the line. The actual champion of the division.
Adding another angle to the conversation, Max Kellerman pointed out that David Benavidez has not yet secured a signature championship bout against elite names such as Canelo Alvarez, Dmitry Bivol, or Artur Beterbiev. He also described Jai Opetaia as a highly active champion who consistently accepts dangerous, top-level opponents.
He boxes quite well, but you can't really sort of judge on his head in the past, and they haven't been too much. Jai's a completely different beast. So what he can do to them is completely different from what he can do to Jai. So we'll see what happens and put everything together.
Meanwhile, Opetaia admitted that David Benavidez is an extremely talented fighter, but questioned how much can truly be learned from some of his previous opponents. He explained that facing someone at Opetaia's level would represent an entirely different challenge and could reveal how Benavidez responds to a serious jump in competition.
You know what? I think he's a great fighter. I met him at a fight. I want to give a big shout out to Opetaia. I think he's a great fighter. He's doing well, but I think he still needs the experience, His last fight, I think he held back. He looks a little bit tired. He was struggling in there. He did win the fight to me. And, he did win pretty much all the rounds. But, I just think that he needs a little bit more experience. We'll fight him tomorrow.
At the same time, Jose Benavidez Sr. praised the ability of Jai Opetaia, but suggested the Australian champion is still growing through elite-level experience and may benefit from additional time against top opposition. He also expressed confidence that his team would take the fight immediately, viewing it as a dangerous yet very winnable matchup.
picking on some of the young sides. You're gonna start with that. That's first of all. Y'all the same size, so now it's like I don't think you can stand there. Yeah, I don't think that's Russian roulette. When you're sitting there on the rope, I'm a little more. I'm swinging. He just. But when it's the same size, Benavidez gonna have to show his real boxing skills. Because I don't think he just.
On the other hand, Ron Ellis suggested that David Benavidez would face a far more difficult task against an opponent with comparable size and physical attributes. He explained that Benavidez would likely need to depend more heavily on boxing skill and tactical adjustments instead of relying purely on relentless forward pressure. According to Ellis, the fight would test whether Benavidez can adapt when he cannot simply overpower opponents.
That would be a great fight. I think before he would go to heavyweight, I think that would be the fight that needs to be made. I think Jai has a good chance too of possibly winning. Like really? I said, yeah, I think it just comes down to who shows up.
Continuing the debate, Floyd Schofield Sr. described a possible clash between Jai Opetaia and David Benavidez as a high-caliber matchup that should happen before either fighter considers a move toward heavyweight. He added that Opetaia would have a legitimate chance to win, emphasizing that victory would ultimately depend on who performs better under the lights on fight night.
Beat Jai Opetaia. Hell yeah, he beat Opetaia. Oh, I'm a double down. He gonna beat Opetaia. I double down on that one. He gonna beat Opetaia. See, Opetaia got good feet. Yeah, he can box, but he can be drugged into a fight. And if you know anything about David Benavidez, just like he did with Ramirez, he's the one of those guys that's gonna test your heart. He gonna test what you have in here. And once he go to Jai and he tests what he has in here, Jai gonna lose his. Jai ain't gonna be boxing and moving around. Jai gonna be looking to fight. Jai gonna get tired too. Yeah, because Jai, if you look at the history of Jai Opetaia, he get tired. Yes, he gets tired.
Meanwhile, Tim Bradley predicted that David Benavidez would come out victorious against Opetaia, arguing that Benavidez's aggressive pressure could drag the fight into a physically demanding battle. He explained that Benavidez's non-stop intensity and ability to push the pace might gradually wear Opetaia down, especially if the action turns into a close-range war.
Favorite against Zurdo, I made Benavidez a favorite against Canelo. I know what I'm watching. Opetaia is stronger. Pound for pound in punching, Opetaia punches a lot harder with one single shot than Benavidez. He's a harder, heavy-handed puncher. He's a southpaw. He has better feet than Benavidez. He's just as mean as Benavidez. That would be violent, man. That fight will be. At the same time, Sergio Mora explained that although he has favored David Benavidez in previous major matchups, he sees Jai Opetaia as an especially dangerous opponent. Mora highlighted Opetaia's one-punch power, southpaw positioning, footwork, and attacking mentality, suggesting that fight would likely become an explosive and brutally physical contest.
Bivol is really he's the only fight I really want, like that I truly want, because he has all the belts. You know what I mean? After I beat Bivol, I'm gonna have, right now I have 8 titles. 3 of them were interim, 3 of them world championships at super middleweight, light heavyweight. Now I got 2 of them at cruiserweight. I really want those belts. I want those accolades. So that's the only.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez has also shown strong interest in potential showdown with Dimitri Bivol, viewing the matchup as a major opportunity to capture significant titles and further strengthen his reputation across multiple weight divisions.
You guys know that 100% already. Wherever it is, it's 200, 175, wherever. I mean, I'm just here to test myself at the end of the day and test my greatness.
Additionally, Benavidez has made it clear that he is willing to compete anywhere from light heavyweight to cruiserweight if the opportunities are meaningful enough. He emphasized that his priority is challenging the best fighters available rather than remaining tied to a single division.
And I want his belt, and I want to defend my belt, and I want to be...
However, Dimitri Bivol acknowledged the ambition displayed by David Benavidez, noting that elite fighters are expected to pursue major championships and consistently face high-level opposition. He added that this mentality is what naturally creates important fights and increases their significance within the sport.
He's the best. I would love to fight Bivol because he beat Canelo. He beat Zurdo Ramirez. So if we can beat the one that beat the one, those are the fights that we want to look for. We don't want no tune-ups, and you see David never wants tune-ups. He wants to fight the best. So we're here to fight the best at cruiserweight or
Building further on that idea, Jose Benavidez Sr. laid out a career path for David Benavidez centered around immediate elite competition instead of gradual progression fights. He stressed the importance of targeting marquee opponents in multiple divisions, focusing on legacy-defining battles at light heavyweight and cruiserweight to accelerate Benavidez's standing among boxing's elite.
How good? You know, Godzik is decent. You know, he's strong, old. I don't think Benavidez is a 175 fighter. I don't think he beats Beterbiev. I don't think he beats Bivol. But I think he's very hard to beat at 168. I think that's where a lot of it...
In contrast, Eddie Hearn acknowledged David Benavidez's strengths but questioned whether his style would remain as dominant at light heavyweight. Hearn suggested Benavidez appears most effective at super middleweight, where his size, pressure, and physical strength are more difficult for opponents to neutralize. He also noted that moving up to challenge Dmitry Bivol would present a significantly tougher assignment.
Fisted attack, and he has a bigger variety of punches. So that's a lot to just deal with, knowing that, you know what I mean, if he hits you clean, he could do some kind of damage to you. And he's going to hit Benavidez because Benavidez is going to step to him. That's how Benavidez fights. So I think that's I don't know if I would pick Benavidez if this was 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But it's not. The man is 41, and 41 is 41. So I pick Benavidez to beat him. I think Benavidez gets off a little too.
On top of that, Stephen Edwards praised Dmitry Bivol for his technical skills, movement, and disciplined approach inside the ring, while also recognizing the problems David Benavidez could create. He suggested that Benavidez's relentless pressure and high-volume attack might eventually force Bivol into uncomfortable exchanges and prolonged defensive situations that could become increasingly difficult to maintain over time.
Paul had a pretty tough fight with Beterbiev, and I think David Benavidez. Yeah, I think David Benavidez is levels above Beterbiev, so I think it would be a much harder fight for Bivol. But then again, I mean, boxing is 50-50, so that's definitely a 50-50 fight. Because, I mean, Bivol has power, he can box, and he has foot movement, you know, that Soviet style. But, yeah, I mean, David is David, so that's just a fight we got.
Meanwhile, Floyd Schofield Sr. stated that David Benavidez is currently operating at an elite level and may even rank above fighters such as Artur Beterbiev in overall ability. Even so, he described a possible fight with Dmitry Bivol as an extremely competitive matchup, calling it a true 50-50 battle because of Bivol's movement, ring IQ, and punching power.
Is the #1 target on his list? Is that the right decision for him, do you think, to go back down to 175 and to challenge Dmitry Bivol?
100%. Because one, they've sparred before, so they know what to expect. That's one. Two, imagine him fighting in September in the same venue in Las Vegas with all the Mexicans watching again and beating a guy that beat down your superstar, a guy that beat Bivol. I'm talking about Bivol beat Canelo and you beating Bivol on that special date. That's how you take over the crown at 29 years old and become the next star for the next couple of years. Bivol's the way because he's not a big puncher. He's footwork, and you need to know how to close down that distance and footwork. Benavidez has that. Speed beats the timing of Bivol with that jab. Speed's going to intercept that. And then ultimately the power. The power's going to be on Benavidez's side. Bivol's never been a puncher. He's strong, but he's not a puncher. So everything's for Benavidez. I would see him being the major favorite.
Sergio Mora also supported David Benavidez pursuing a fight against Dmitry Bivol, arguing that a victory in that matchup could elevate Benavidez into one of boxing's next major superstars. Mora referenced their previous sparring sessions along with Benavidez's pressure, speed, and power, suggesting those qualities could disrupt Bivol's timing and movement. In the end, Mora leaned toward Benavidez as a favorite due to the physical advantages he believes are on Benavidez's side.
Correct. Bivol is still a top 5 pound-for-pound guy. That said, based on that performance against Zurdo, I'd have to make the case that Benavidez is a top 5 pound-for-pound guy right now. And I would probably make Benavidez a slight favorite at the moment against Dmitry Bivol because we know what Benavidez is right now. Like, Benavidez is a monster in the...
On the other hand, Chris Mannix gave credit to Dmitry Bivol as one of boxing's premier pound-for-pound fighters, but also argued that David Benavidez has earned similar recognition following his performance against Gilberto Ramirez. Based on recent form, Mannix admitted he would slightly favor Benavidez in a potential showdown, describing him as a dangerous presence across multiple divisions.
No, because Bivol's so disciplined. From round 1 to 12, he's here back and forth with this. He is stubborn with that style, bro. So that it's all about him getting Bivol off of his game, which he has the capability of doing. He's broken down so many people. Yeah, I heard that too. You know, where is he at? He's confidently talking about it in his interview, saying how he got him in sparring. But he also lets it known that it was good work though. At the same time, and this time that's been since that happened, and both fighters has grown since then. But man, Bivol, bro, it's gonna be tough. That's a fight that I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know how it'll go down.
I do think he beats better BF.
Meanwhile, Bruce Carrington shared a similar opinion about Dmitry Bivol, describing him as a calm and highly disciplined technician who sticks closely to his game plan. Carrington explained that David Benavidez would likely need to break that rhythm through constant pressure and an aggressive pace, a strategy that has worked for him against other elite fighters. Still, he admitted the matchup remains extremely difficult to predict because both men have evolved significantly since their earlier sparring sessions.